Hi, welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. I just needed to jump on and give a quick update on a conversation that we got into several weeks back. It was a topic of, I felt like I was being led to assist, to serve in a church. And I had been reading Rick Warren's book, The Purpose Driven Life, and going through the book, I just felt that God was leading me to assist in a church setting. Now, as you know, I'm far more spiritual than I am religious. I have cultivated a deep relationship with God at home, just He and I. And so I never felt inspired, or the need rather, to go out and join a church community. But I have felt God leading me to do so as of recently. And so in the conversation, I don't know if you listened in on it, but I was saying that when I looked around, I didn't really have a church that I felt particularly led to. But then that wasn't true, because when I think of the churches just in my immediate surroundings, there was one church that absolutely stood out. So I live in the Hollywood area, and there is this grand church in the neighborhood. And every hour, on the hour, they sound this beautiful, it sounds like an ancient bell. And it just really transports me personally into a dated time, a time of the past where we only knew the hour by watching, the sundial, or maybe perhaps hearing the sounds of church bells ringing. But it is such a beautiful, gentle, just also at the same time profound sound. And it is just such an enhancement to the neighborhood. As I said, I'm in Hollywood. And so if you don't know, it is hustling and bustling and horns and big city lights and sirens. So to hear every hour during the day this beautiful sound of the church bell ringing, it's just been just a beautiful elevation to the neighborhood. And that church has probably been here longer than I have. But I said to myself, if there's any church that I would visit and test the waters on, it would be that one. Aside from the beautiful bell, they also have something out front for years that I've never seen any church display. One is a giant red ribbon for AIDS awareness. And that is a part of the building. It is on the front of the building. They're proudly displaying that. The second is they're waving the rainbow flag. So immediately I was like, yeah, that sounds like my kind of church, right? A church that is welcoming everyone in every community, proudly displaying what they stand for. And I said, okay, it's them. And so I finally visited, and I need to give you a quick update. Before I do, I'm going to pause here and just let you in on a conversation I had got with God not even a week ago. I was speaking to a friend about the LGBT community, and it prompted me to go to God with some questions. Like I do. We hear what the church says. We hear what society says, right? So a church, what I've heard is that the church would say, God never made any mistakes. So if someone considers themselves gay, transgender, then what they're saying is God made a mistake because marriage is between a man and a woman, and it's sinful to be, involved in same-sex relationships or marriages. So even though I'm completely not in agreement with that statement, I know that my place is to stand in the position of love, period. God has commanded me not to judge. God has made it very clear that my position is to love, right? Love covers a multitude of sin, all sin, any sin. God has made it clear that I am here to love not only every human, but every being, whether it's an animal, an insect, a tree, the ocean, weather. My job is easy. I'm just to love, and I'm just here to serve, and I'm here to revere, just like you are, just like every other living being here is meant to. We were all created by the same creator. We are connected. We are here to co-create with each other. We are here to revere and serve one another. We all have purposes. All of it. All of life. Insects, animals, weather, you, me, the environment, all of it has a purpose. So it's easy. I can just love, and I don't need to question. But I wanted to question. I wanted an answer from God to gain speaking points. So yes, it's easy for me to say, I don't judge what anyone else is doing. I'm keeping my eyes on God. I'm here to revere everyone, and that's it. But just recently in my spirit, it's like, no, I want to be able to rebut. I want to be able to stand in justice for. I want to be able to speak on the topic from a place of truth, and that only truth would have to come from God himself, right? So I took it to God. And here's what I asked him. I said, God, you don't make any mistakes. So I need you to let me in on what is the truth about, I have friends that you listen to their stories that are gay, and they will tell you, I knew I was gay since the moment I can walk, right? A child. I have friends. I have one friend I'm thinking of in particular that says he knew his daughter was gay by a toddler. He knew. And hearing these stories and looking in the face of these people that are expressing their stories, it's true. When you hear the truth, it resonates. And so these stories resonate. I believe you when you say you were born gay, 100%. So then I listened to God, or not even God, sorry. I listened to the church, quote unquote, the church and society when they would say that, oh, then God, you're saying God made a mistake because it's a sin and it's wrong. And nobody was born gay. This was a imbalance. This was them deciding. I just went to the source on the topic. God. God, what is the truth so that I can speak to the topic beyond saying, which it is enough to say, I stand with love. I love everyone. I am here to serve everyone. But I want to take it further. What is the truth? And here's what God said. I created you and I created them. He actually said, I created them like that. Period. Just like he created me like this, just like he created you like the way you are, just like he created a zebra the way a zebra is, anyone who considers themselves a part of the LGBT community, they were also created intentionally, according to God, the way they are. Perfectly. Perfectly. So, when I heard that, it settled it. That's all I needed to hear. I don't need to know anymore, because now my speaking points, when I go to stand in the face of justice, I can simply say, God created them, that person, that beautiful soul, just the way they are, perfectly, with intention. Speed ahead to when I went into the church. And as I got into the church, I was a little late. There was a beautiful speaker on the pulpit, on the stage, and he was sharing his story. He was gay, and he loved God, and he loved the safe space that this beautiful United Methodist Church gave him, that they kept his voice how do I say this? That they kept his voice in a safe space. That they kept him in a safe space. That they revered him. That they wanted to embrace him. That they have been embracing him. That they love him. That he is one of them. He is a child of God. And there is nothing wrong with him. A testimony that was shared, and this was just heartbreaking, in that church was another gentleman that shared his story about how he had tried to have, heterosexual relationships, and he actually had gotten engaged 3 times, but just in him, everything seemed misaligned in those relationships. It wasn't aligned with his soul. And he said for many years, he had been praying to God, God, the church says something's wrong with me. God, the church says I'm going to hell. God, please change me. God, please make me different. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to go to hell. Please heal me. And he told God, God, take me now. I'd rather not be here if it means I'm going to go to hell because I'm living as a gay man. And he said, God told him this. You have been praying this same prayer for 10 years. It is time to stop. I have no intention on changing you. And in that moment, he knew it was of God. It was intentional. There were no mistakes made. And it just really touched my heart. It pierced my heart, actually, because it's the very conversation I've had with God this week. And here it was, God confirming it yet again in this tremendously beautiful church. And I mean, not only beautiful on the inside and the outside, but beautiful on the inside, with the members and the pastors and the messages of unity and love and nothing else. Like, this church has really taken it back to the core, which is love. That's it. And so for me, that is my church. I have seen enough with just joining them for a single service. It's certainly everything I'm aligned with. I'm aligned in love. I am aligned with God's truth that we are all connected and we are here to serve one another. Boy, that's the beautiful part. I am released from judgment. Who has time to carry that burden? I am focused on my life. I am focused on God's guiding me. And when I look around, I can just love everything else. I have no time for hate. I have no time for judgment. So, with that said, I have found a church that does not judge, that is loving, that is putting our LGBTQ community on the pedestal that they deserve. Thank God for a church that would take a beautiful stand and welcome in all of God's children, that would welcome in their stories, their testimonies, that want to hear their stories and give them a safe space, honor their space, honor their stories in such a beautiful, grand way, and a beautiful, grand church. Like, the church is tremendously beautiful, inside and out. So I just want to say, I stand in unity, period. Love covers a multitude of sin, of all sin. And I personally don't think being gay is a sin. I have just said, God has said, I have created everyone with intention and with precision. Period. So I just really wanted to update y'all. That is it. I didn't want to leave anyone hanging. I know I said I was going to give everyone an update on when I found a church home. So here's that update. I found my people. I am ready to serve in that community of non-judgment. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the platform. If you don't know, we're on YouTube also at The Ultimate Love Letter. Please check us out there and click subscribe. We're up to 47 subscribers now. I'm like giddy. If you have found us on YouTube, I want to let you know, welcome. I want to say rather, welcome. If you are a new listener on any of the other platforms, you as well. Welcome to the community. Just know, if you are here, I am praying over you. I am asking God to increase your territory. I am praying peace and harmony over your life. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat soon. Bye for now.